Inspections, walkthroughs, and closings. New does not mean perfect, but that doesn't mean they don't need to fix it. Hang with me today as we talk about inspections, walkthroughs, and closings for new construction. Don't miss these tips if you are buying new construction, and you will not believe what multiple builders have told me and my buyers when it comes to inspections. You won't want to miss this, and I will tell you my drop the mic response to builders when they try to bully you. Let's do it. We are finishing up our 4-part series today about new construction. If you haven't seen the first 3 videos, you can look below and I'll provide a link to those videos. Okay, we have made it to the inspections. Now I say inspections plural because it's important to know that if you are getting a home built, there are a couple common inspections that buyers can get and one that is less common, but you can still investigate to see if the builder will allow it. And one thing I hear all the time from builders or builders agents is that the city or county has its inspectors that will come out and inspect each step of the build they are doing, so you don't need to get your own inspection. While this is true, it is amazing how much the county and city inspectors miss. If those inspectors saw everything, then the inspectors that my buyers hire that come in would never find anything or would find very little. However, that is not what happens most of the time. The vast majority of the time, inspectors hired by the buyers I work with find a laundry list of items that were not done correctly or not done at all. It is very important to bring your own inspector. Now, back to the different types of inspections. The first is the pre-pour inspection. I don't see this inspection done often, and some inspection companies don't even offer this type of inspection. So we won't go into it in detail for this video, but if you have any questions about it, shoot me an email, a text, or a comment below. The next type of inspection is the pre-drywall inspection. This inspection is done once the framing is put up and the plumbing and electrical are run through and or around the framing. The big thing is the drywall is not up yet, so the inspector can inspect behind the walls before the walls are even up. As I have stated before, there are some builders that put in their contracts that they do not allow pre-drywall inspections. While builders aren't necessarily hiding anything, I'm not quite sure why some don't allow this specific inspection. I strongly recommend having the pre-drywall inspection done. Then the last inspection is the typical home inspection that is done when the home is complete. This may be the only inspection you can do if you're buying a home that's already built that's new. Let me give you some warnings. Builders wait to the last minute to put in appliances, so find out from the builder if these items will be in at the time of your inspection. When working with clients, we always encourage the builder to have everything done at the time of inspection so the inspector can look over them. The other thing is to make sure that the utilities are all turned on. There's nothing like showing up for an inspection and there's no water, electric, or gas. It makes it hard to inspect, and you'll be surprised how many builders forget to turn back on the utilities that they shut off for whatever reasons they had. Once you have your inspections complete, you will turn in your entire inspection report to the builder and ask them to fix or repair everything that's found in it. The builder is required to have everything up to code. An issue that comes up sometimes is what is up to code and what is not. We will talk about that in just a second. The good thing about new builds, unlike buying a resale home, is that they usually fix all the items that come up in the inspection report. Another thing you need to know is inspectors are just looking for things not done properly or up to code. The inspector is not going to point out places that were painted badly or things that the builder forgot to put in, like a ceiling fan in a certain room. That is something that you will need to cover in your final walkthroughs. Now that you've sent off your inspection report to the builder and the builder is supposed to be addressing these issues, you will have your first walkthrough. This is where you walk through the entire house and make sure everything is looking good. Once again, new does not mean perfect. It's just about impossible to make every single room, look perfectly painted and straight lines from the separation of the ceiling and the walls. But everything should be done well. On this walkthrough day, you'll walk through each room with painter's tape and mark out all the things that were missed, or the things that need some touching up, or some things that were not done at all. The builder will be with you, and a good builder will help with this process. Meaning, the builder will see some things that need to be done better and put tape on them before you even have to say anything. At this walkthrough too, you need to look for the items that were found in the inspection. And here's where things can get interesting and where you and your agent need to be strong. Believe it or not, I've had multiple builders tell me when I bring up the inspection report that inspectors just make stuff up, that there really isn't anything wrong with their house, and what they pointed out is not a problem. I found out quickly that inspectors and builders don't seem to really care for one another. Because this has happened on multiple occasions, I now have a plan in place. When a builder questions the inspection report or the integrity of the inspector, I tell the builder this can easily be solved. I tell them, let me get the inspector on the phone, and I'll put them both on speaker, and the inspector can tell you what he saw and what is or isn't up to code. Pretty much every time I've said this, the builder has backed down and fixed what was on the inspection report. The moral of this story is, don't back down, and have an inspector who is willing to be called and back you up when you're talking with the builder. Do not get run over or taken advantage of by some bully builder. And I just want to be clear, there have been builders I have worked with where this has never been an issue, and they were willing to do whatever we asked without having to call up the inspector. One other thing I suggest is, after you put tape all over the house, take pictures of every room and area so you can see where the tape was to remind yourself, because there is a second and final walkthrough that you'll do. You want to make sure they fixed everything that we're supposed to fix, and trust me, you won't remember where you put all your tape. Alright, the final walkthrough. You are so close. This is the last time you get to walk through the house before closing. Make sure everything is done that was supposed to be done. Here may be my biggest warning of all. It happens sometimes, maybe about 25% of the time for the builds that I've been a part of, where the builder hasn't finished or fixed everything, and usually these final walkthroughs are maybe an hour or two before closing. The builder tells you that they will get it done, but go ahead and close. Well, at this point, what can you do? Well, it depends on what the contract states and what is still needing to be fixed. I tell my clients that the only leverage they have is to not close if there is something that is not fixed or finished that the builder has not fulfilled as part of their contract. Because if you do not close and it's not fixed, what incentive does the builder have to come in and do what they said that they would do in the beginning? Now, most of the time the builder does the job and it gets fixed. However, I have had clients whose grass died before closing. The builder claimed that it would come back, and if it didn't, that they would put new sod in the following spring. This client was in a situation where they were selling their own home, and once they closed on their current home, they would have nowhere to move into if they didn't close on the new build. We put a special stipulation into the contract that survived closing that stated the builder would come in and replace the grass if it was still dead in the spring. Well, spring rolled around and the battle began. The grass was dead, and there was a runaround between the builder, the subcontractor who did the lawns, and the buyer. It got to the point where not only my buyer, but multiple other neighbors in the neighborhood were looking to possibly bring a lawsuit against the builder for breach of contract. The big lesson here is, even when it's in the contract, once you close, the builder is much less likely to fix an issue and may take their sweet time to get it done because they don't have to. The home has been sold. One thing that can help you if this happens to you is find out if this builder is still building in the neighborhood for a while, or if you're one of the last builds. If the builder is around for a while, you can kindly and legally harass them until they fix the issue. Nothing hurts sales in a new neighborhood like current residents telling prospective buyers that the builder is bad and don't buy in this neighborhood. Builders don't want that, so checking to see how long they'll be staying in the neighborhood and finishing their builds can give you some security though it's no guarantee. Finally, you're at closing. The builder will not show up at closing, so it's just going to be you, your agent, and the attorney. This is an easy part. You sign the documents, the lender sends in the money if you're getting a loan, and once everything is good, you'll be given the keys to your new home. Make sure you go right away to your home to check to make sure the keys work, as I did have a buyer who got keys and they didn't work for their house. Thankfully that buyer had a garage door opener and could still get in, but it's nice to have keys to your own home. I've got people just like you reaching out to me constantly about buying and selling homes, moving to Atlanta and the metro Atlanta area, and with just general question about homes. If you have any questions about anything related to new homes, Atlanta, buying and selling, please feel free to reach out to me. Give me a call, send me a text, shoot me an email. I'd love to assist you in any way I can. And if you found this video helpful, hit that thumbs up button, click on the notification bell, and hit the subscription button. I post videos like this one every Thursday. Thanks, and I will see you next time.